Around 180,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes. Many neighborhoods have been left unrecognizable.
It is safe to say that the Palisades fire is one of the most destructive natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles.
This was the scene as dense smoke blanketed the sky above Hollywood. Weather forecasters are warning that across LA, more high winds may fan the flames further.
The story of Los Angeles is often told through the lens of its glamorous Hollywood hills, endless sunshine, and sprawling metropolis. However, beneath this idealized surface, another force has shaped the city's history: fire. From the first brush fires in its arid landscape to the catastrophic infernos that have repeatedly tested its resilience, Los Angeles's relationship with fire is as old as the city itself. This documentary will trace the history of fire in Los Angeles, exploring the ecological, economic, and human factors that have fueled and fought these flames. 1. Early fires, natural cycles, and indigenous land management. Long before European settlers arrived in Los Angeles, the land was shaped by cycles of fire. Indigenous peoples such as the Tongva and Chumash understood the rhythms of fire, using controlled burns to manage the land, promote new growth, and prevent larger, uncontrolled wildfires. These periodic fires were not seen as destructive forces, but as part of the natural landscape, facilitating new life, clearing underbrush, and maintaining the balance of ecosystems. The practice of intentional fire setting was integral to the region's environmental management. Fires would be ignited deliberately in specific areas to stimulate the growth of edible plants, such as acorns and seeds, and to attract game. The deep knowledge of fire as a tool would later clash with the European settlers' approach, which was more focused on suppressing fire in favor of building a permanent settlement. 2. The rise of the city and the growing risk of wildfires. As Los Angeles grew from a small pueblo into a sprawling urban center in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the risks posed by wildfires began to emerge more prominently. The city's rapid expansion into brushland areas, combined with the region's Mediterranean climate, characterized by long dry summers and mild winters, set the stage for regular fires. The year 1910 saw one of the earliest major fire disasters in the Los Angeles area, known as the San Fernando Valley Fire. It became clear that the city's efforts to urbanize and extend infrastructure into the wildlands would have serious implications for fire safety. In the 1920s, the city established its first fire department, and by the 1930s, the demand for controlled fire suppression had become a city priority. However, the pattern of frequent seasonal fires continued to worsen as the city's population swelled and suburban development increased. People sought the peace of the mountains and valleys, but this created more homes in vulnerable areas prone to wildfires. 3. The 1961 Bel Air Fire, the first great test of the modern fire department. In the early 1960s, Los Angeles was still coming to terms with the complexity of managing wildfires within its vast urban sprawl. The Bel Air Fire of 1961 remains one of the most significant early challenges for the city's firefighting teams. The blaze destroyed over 500 homes in an affluent neighborhood, leaving thousands of residents displaced. The fire was sparked by a combination of dry conditions, winds, and the rapid growth of brush in areas that bordered the city. This fire was the first of many to reveal how vulnerable even the wealthiest areas of Los Angeles could be to natural disasters. The fire would prompt greater investment in firefighting equipment, preparedness, and the development of evacuation protocols. 4. The 1993 Griffith Park Fire, a city under siege. In 1993, a fire broke out in Griffith Park, one of the largest urban parks in the United States. The Griffith Park fire, which burned for days, became a symbol of the city's vulnerability. The fire started in the early spring, fed by dry conditions and gusty winds. It threatened some of the city's most famous landmarks, including the iconic Hollywood sign. The fire prompted a re-evaluation of the city's firefighting strategies, and led to significant improvements in fire prevention, such as the creation of defensible spaces and the use of fire-resistant materials in urban construction. The Griffith Park fire underscored the need for a more integrated approach to urban planning and fire management in a city where the boundaries between nature and city streets are often blurred. 5. The 2003 and 2007 wildfires, a new era of destruction. The early 21st century saw some of the most destructive fires in California's history. While fires have always been a part of the region's natural environment, the wildfires of 2003 and 2007 marked a paradigm shift in their scale and intensity. In 2003, the Cedar Fire ravaged San Diego County and spread into neighboring areas of Los Angeles. The fire left 15 people dead, burned over 280,000 acres, and destroyed more than 2,800 homes. In 2007, the Witch Creek Fire added to the state's growing wildfire crisis. The fire season had become increasingly unpredictable and the fires more intense, raising alarm about climate change and the state of the urban-wildland interface. While Los Angeles had long prepared for fires in urbanized regions, these fires highlighted the need for coordinated state and federal responses to what was becoming an annual crisis. The fires of 2003 and 2007 also marked a shift in how residents of Los Angeles approached fire preparedness. Increasing numbers of people began to realize that living near wildlands could mean facing annual fire threats, leading to mass evacuations and emergency measures. 6. The 2018 Woolsey Fire, the convergence of drought, wind, and human error. The Woolsey Fire of 2018, which ignited in the Santa Monica Mountains, burned more than 96,000 acres and destroyed over 1,600 structures. It was one of the largest fires in recent Los Angeles history and took place at a time when the city and state had already been dealing with the effects of an ongoing drought. This fire would push the limits of firefighting resources. For the first time, the people of Los Angeles began to consider the long-term implications of these annual fires, which had become a fixture of life in the region. Many people had to evacuate neighborhoods like Malibu, Topanga Canyon, and parts of Ventura County. The widespread devastation of the fire prompted not just a rethink of firefighting tactics, but a broader societal conversation about land use, environmental degradation, and climate change. Many experts believe that the Woolsey Fire, along with other fires, is an example of how drought, high winds, and the urban-wildland interface are leading to more frequent and intense wildfires. 7. The impact of climate change on future fire seasons. The fires of the 21st century have brought renewed attention to the intersection of climate change and fire behavior. Rising temperatures, extended drought periods, and the increase in extreme weather events are all contributing to a hotter, drier climate, which makes wildfires more frequent and dangerous. The scientific consensus around climate change has prompted government agencies, non-profits, and residents to reconsider how best to mitigate fire risks. In recent years, the state of California has been introducing new fire prevention programs, including controlled burns, fire breaks, and vegetation management. The Los Angeles Fire Department has also invested heavily in technology, using satellite data, drones, and AI to predict fire behavior and help coordinate firefighting efforts. However, as wildfires continue to ravage parts of California, there remains the question: what does the future of fire in Los Angeles look like, and how can the city prepare for the increasing threat? 8. The human cost, survivors, communities, and recovery. While fires often receive widespread media attention for their destructive power, it's important to acknowledge the human cost. Thousands of families have lost homes, and countless others have been displaced. The emotional toll of evacuation, property loss, and the trauma of living through a fire season is incalculable. But the story of fire in Los Angeles is also one of resilience. Communities across the city have come together in the aftermath of fire disasters, rebuilding homes, offering support, and creating stronger connections. While the devastation is real, so too is the collective spirit of the city, which continues to rebuild year after year. Conclusion: the fires of Los Angeles are not simply a force of nature, they are a reflection of the city itself. A city that has always existed on the edge, where nature meets urbanization, and where beauty and danger coexist. As climate change accelerates, the need for effective fire management, community resilience, and sustainable urban planning has never been more urgent. The story of the fires in Los Angeles is not just about destruction, but about survival, adaptation, and the enduring human spirit. Though the flames will continue to scorch the hills, the people of Los Angeles have always shown their ability to rise from the ashes. Let me know if you'd like me to continue or expand on specific sections.